Here's a story that some frame as a serious rupture between church and state. The chairperson of the CRL Rights Commission's Section 22 committee, meant to curb abuses within the Christian sector, has resigned, warning that the process that he led is compromised. Rev Professor Musa Xulu says a committee meant to protect religious freedom has instead become exclusionary, toxic, and driven by a predetermined agenda of state control. He alleges irregular procedures, interference, and the release of an unapproved framework that he says infringes the Constitution. Joining us now then is the resigned chairperson of that Section 22 committee, Rev Professor Musa Xulu. Prof, good afternoon. Thank you for your time. Why are you leaving?
Well, I'm leaving because, as you have rightly said, I have no control. I had no control whatsoever over the proceedings of the Section 22 committee. Some of the situations would find that, for example, that document which they released on the 19th of December, the chairperson of the CRL Commission, which had said that the Section 22 committee is independent, sat throughout chairing that meeting and participating in the writing of that document. And then the document was, without being presented to the full Section 22 committee, was described as coming from the Section 22 committee. And I felt that I'm compromised, but also I have been uncomfortable since June. And I've written a few letters to the chairperson of the commission, Mrs. Xulu, and some WhatsApp messages saying that I'm beginning to think that this thing is not moving in the direction which I had anticipated. And in that document, for example, they start prescribing things for the church, which I don't know how that would be implemented, because the church is multi-denominational and they have their own internal self-regulated rules.
Can I ask you to give us examples, Prof, so that we are all in the picture, as to what you are talking about, some of the things that are being recommended, because this aligns with some of the criticism that had been leveled even at the inception of this Section 22 committee?
Well, you have prescriptions like, for example, foreign pastors must not be allowed. You have issues like, for example, that they raised, some of it not written directly, that there is nothing called fivefold ministry. You have issues like that attack the doctrine of, the forgiveness of sins by church pastors and so on. And in its entirety, it will seek to say that you cannot establish a church without seeking permission from a particular body, which permission may be granted or not granted. It also says that you will have to be licensed. They talk about some kind of body that they want to establish, which should be like a legal society and so on. And I question that, because the church works according to spirituality, and the pastors and bishops and church leaders and congregants actually believe in the guidance of the Holy Spirit.
All
now,
right,
once you make it secular, you are taking the church.
All right, Prof, I've got to leave it there simply because of time. Thank you for taking some time to speak to me this afternoon.